Good day, sir. We are here to report about sustaining biodiversity, saving ecosystems, and ecosystem services. Okay, first, tropical forests. Costa Rica as a global conservation leader. Tropical forests once completely covered Central America's Costa Rica, which is smaller in area than the U.S. state of West Virginia, and about one-tenth the size of France. Costa Rica is also a superpower of biodiversity despite such widespread forest loss. It also increased its beneficial environmental impact by devoting a larger proportion of its land than any other country has to biodiversity conservation, in keeping with the biodiversity principle of sustainability. What are the major threats to forest ecosystems? Forest ecosystems provide ecosystem services far greater in value than the value of raw materials obtained from forests. Unsustainable cutting and burning of forests and projected climate change are the chief threats to forest ecosystems. Forests vary in age and makeup. Based on their age and structure, scientists have divided forests into major types, like an old-growth forest, a second-growth forest, and a tree plantation. First, an old-growth forest or primary forest. It is an uncut or regenerated forest that has not been seriously disturbed by human activities or natural disaster for 200 years or more. It is also reservoirs of biodiversity because they provide ecological niches for a multitude of wildlife species. Second, a second growth forest. It is a stand of trees resulting from secondary ecological succession. It is developed after the trees in an area have been removed by human activities such as clear cutting for timber or conversion to cropland, or by natural forces such as fires and hurricanes. The third one is a tree plantation. It is also called a tree farm or commercial forest. It is a managed forest containing only one or two species of trees that are all of the same age. They are often grown on land that was cleared of an old growth or secondary growth forest and are usually harvested by clear cutting as soon as they become commercially valuable. Forests provide important economic and ecosystem services. By sustaining forests, we can increase our beneficial environmental impact because forests provide highly valuable economic and ecosystem services. For example, through photosynthesis, forests remove CO2 from the atmosphere and store it in organic compounds, playing a role in the global carbon cycle. Forests provide habitat for about two-thirds of the Earth's terrestrial species and are home to more than 300 million people. Forests also provide us with important health benefits. For example, traditional medicines used by 80% of the world's people are derived mostly from plant species that are native to forests.
Putting a price tag on nature's ecosystem services. Currently, forests and other ecosystems are valued mostly for their economic services. Ecologists and ecological economists call for us to include in such valuations the estimated monetary value of the ecosystem services provided by forests. According to Constanza's study, the world's forests alone provide us with ecosystem services worth at least 4.7 trillion per year, hundreds of times more than their economic value in terms of lumber, paper, and other wood products. The researchers pointed out that their estimates were very conservative. There are several ways to harvest trees. The first step in harvesting trees is to build roads for access and timber removal. Second one, even carefully designed logging roads can have a number of harmful effects, namely topsoil erosion, sediment runoff into waterways, habitat fragmentation, and loss of biodiversity. Third one, loggers can use a variety of methods to harvest trees, with selective cutting. Intermediate age or mature trees in a forest are cut singly or in small groups. Clear cutting is the most efficient and sometimes least costly way to cut trees, and it provides benefits for landowners and timber companies. And the last one is a variation of clear cutting that allows a more sustainable timber yield without widespread destruction is strip cutting. Fire can threaten or benefit forest ecosystems. Two types of fires can affect forest ecosystems. Surface fires usually burn only undergrowth and leaf litter on the forest floor. They kill seedlings and small trees, but they spare most mature trees and allow most wild animals to escape. Crown fire. It is an extremely hot fire that leaps from treetop to treetop, burning whole trees. It usually occurs in forests that has not experienced surface fires for several decades, a situation that allows dead wood, leaves, and other flammable ground litter to accumulate. Almost half of the world's forests have been cut down. Deforestation is the temporary or permanent removal of large expanses of forest for agriculture, settlements, or other uses. Clearing large areas of forest, especially old-growth forest, has important short-term economic benefits, but it is also has a number of harmful environmental effects. Many cleared forests in the United States have grown back. Forests in the United States, including tree plantation, cover more area than they did in 1920. The primary reason is that many of the old-growth forests that were cleared or partially cleared between 1620 and 1920 have grown back naturally through secondary ecological succession. There are now fairly diverse second growth and in some cases third growth. Forests in every region of the United States except in much of the West. Tropical forests are disappearing rapidly. First one is climatic and biological data indicate that mature tropical forests once covered at least twice as much area as they do today. Most of this loss of half of the world's tropical forests has taken place since 1950. Second one is satellites, scans, and grounded level surveys indicate that large areas of tropical forests are being cut rapidly. Third one, currently, these forests absorb and store about one-third